Hello, everyone. Business 600 management and management communications with technology tools. We are in week 3. Wow, time is just flying. So, I am going to answer my discussion question number 1 for the 3rd week under technology and communication. Is basically asking how technology has impacted organizational communication, and it has been a negative and a positive impact. I have been a virtual recruiter for probably close to 6 years now. So working in the recruiting and staffing industry, one of the biggest things that I've learned in a virtual environment is that you have to use technology. I mean, I can't tell you the last time that I've actually used a pen and paper. Everything is done through Google Docs, whether it is actually communicating matrix, whether it is, passing on data or other information tools for the team. I manage a team in Portland and in Houston. So we do have some different time zones. We have Pacific Standard Time. We have Central Standard Time. And of course, I'm in Eastern Standard Time. So, that's another, to me, that's an upside of technology, because I can be up at 6 o'clock in the morning writing a message, and this message will get to the intended team member when they actually get online. So, you can already go ahead and, accomplish more even in your time zone. So I think that's a plus when you think about technology. Now, the downside to me of technology is I work with people, millennials, baby boomers, and a lot of people will, say that baby boomers are not as technically savvy in the 21st century as millennials, but that's not often true. I find it on both ends where the technology piece is just not where it should be. So we use a lot of ATSs with clients. So ATS is a management system where, if a potential employee is looking for a job, that's where you'll find job postings. Typically, you have to sign up, like Taleo is a big one that most companies use. And they actually, go and apply for a job through that particular ATS, and the ATS sends or transmits information to the recruitment or staffing agency, and we can see your full application. We can, capture your contact information, and that's how we reach out to you and do interviews or phone screens. So those things are all upside. They're all great. The downside, again, with technology is that technology is, it can be kind of quirky. So that means that ATSs are down. And if ATSs are down, that's typically meaning that our productivity is going to be impacted. A lot of ATSs are attached to assessments. They're attached to actually onboarding new people, new hires. So if you have that technology that's down, there's nothing really that HR can do except for wait until that technology comes up. I mean, you can do all the things on the candidate side, but you can't do it on the company side. So therefore, technology is technology is a good thing, but it can hinder productivity when it is not working appropriately. And number 2, when you have the user error that doesn't really understand how to use the technology. Now, the impact for verbal and nonverbal cues. Usually if you're picking up a phone and you're speaking to a client or you're speaking to a potential candidate, you can usually, communicate fairly well. I mean, sometimes there's language barriers where you have to kind of tweak things a little bit, but typically you can communicate. Now, with the nonverbal is usually the text, the email, the memos. You have to be very specific, because you can the hearer or the receiver of that information can misinterpret it. I know a lot of people in our industry, they use a lot of acronyms that people are like, what are you talking about? Like, unless you're in the industry, you're not going to know what that is. So, try to use terms that everyone is familiar with, universal terms or non-specific industry terms when you're speaking to potential clients and candidates. Because again, everybody's not in the same industry industry that you're in. So you have to be really intentional when you talk about, using technology, text messaging, instant messaging, memos and emails, because those things can be perceived differently. So I'm going to, type down there some information about this and things that I got from the text, but I did just want to speak from my personal experience and use this medium. So hopefully you can answer me back with a nice little video. Next time, maybe I'll put some makeup on or something. So I'll look more presentable, but I wanted to get that done. So hi classmates, hi professor, and I'm looking forward to learning more about management communications and technology tools. See you soon.